Namaste and welcome. Today I'm going to be leading you through a 25-minute yoga routine which is perfect for beginners and for a morning practice. So we're going to begin with sun salutation just to warm up and energize through the entire body, and then flow right and left side, which will focus on the entire body but especially with opening up through the hips and releasing through the hamstrings. So grab your mat and let's get started. Good, so we're going to begin now in easy pose. So just find a nice comfortable seated position for you. You might want to sit on top of a block here and that might be more comfortable for your hips, and that's fine. And we're just going to bring our awareness now to our bodies. So just notice that you're sitting just nice and tall on the sit bones. Spine nice and long, reaching up through to the crown of the head. Good, shoulders nice and dropped, and then bring your focus now to your breath. So just noticing where you feel the rising and falling. Have a sense of what's happening in your body as you breathe. So as we inhale, the diaphragm pushes down and the belly expands, and then that reverses then on the exhale. So just all your focus just there, just on the breath. You might want to visualize the path that the oxygen is taking into the body. So the air goes in through the nostrils, down the trachea, into the lungs, diaphragm down, belly expanding, and reversing there on the exhale. Continue with this breathing as we then move into our seated cat-cow. So as we exhale, we're going to exhale into the belly, spine rolls down to the wall behind you, and then inhale, chest lifts. Exhale into the belly, spine rolls down, head follows. Inhale, chest lift. Good. So just connecting just that simple movement there with the breath. Inhale, chest lifting, gazing up to the ceiling. So just warming up through the spine and the torso. And then slowly coming back to center. We're now going to reach the right arm up and over towards the left side. So nice, creating the space there in the right side. And then on the next exhale, we're going to drop down forwards over the left knee. So dropping the hand down to the floor, dropping the head, keeping that right hip nice and down. And then come back up through the side and back to center. Same on the other side, left arm reaches up to the ceiling on the inhale, exhale over down to the side. And then again on the next exhale, folding forwards over the right knee this time, hand down to the floor, dropping the head, keeping that left hip nice and down this time. So make sure the left knee doesn't rise up. Coming back up through the side when you're ready, and then back to center. Good, we're now going to make our way onto our hands and knees. So just placing the wrists under the shoulders and the knees are hip width apart under the hips and the toes relaxed into our cat-cow. So same here, as I inhale, my chest comes forwards, and then exhale into the belly, spine reaches up to the ceiling and the head follows last. And again, inhale, chest forwards. Exhale into the belly, spine rolls up to the ceiling, head follows. And again, couple more there. So really releasing through the whole spine here. Good, and then slowly coming back to center, and we're going to make our way now into our child's pose. So you might just want to take your knees slightly apart just to create more space there for your hips. And just relaxing the pelvis down on the heels, reaching forwards. Again, breathing, feeling the backs and the sides of the ribs expanding and lengthening on the inhale. Coming back up onto the hands and the knees when you're ready, tucking the toes under to our first downward facing dog. So you can keep your knees nice and bent here, that's absolutely fine. And just walking the heels down one by one. So we're just warming up, so just keep it nice and small, nice and gently, nice and slow. Continuing to breathe You want to be looking to your feet here, so the spine is nice and long, nice and straight. Keeping those hips up nice and high. We're then going to look towards the hands and slowly walk forwards to the front of your mat. So there's no rush here, nice and slowly into our forward fold at the top of our mat. So again, have a slight bend in the knees. Just resting the belly down on the thighs. Just nod and shake the head as if you were saying yes and no, so there's no tension there in the neck. And then on the next exhale, we're going to slowly roll up through the spine. So pushing through the heels, slowly stacking up the vertebrae one by one, arms just hang forwards, head comes up last. Good, all the way to the top and just roll the shoulders back just a couple of times. And we're now going to move into our sun salutation, which we're going to repeat twice. So on your next inhale, inhale all the way into our extended mountain pose, and exhale all the way down to our forward fold. So again, gentle soften in the knees. Let the body just completely hang front. Still breathing, gently pulling the belly in towards the spine, so we're lengthening through the lower back. Good, we're then going to inhale into our halfway lift. So here, nice long flat back, again belly in towards the spine. And you can place your fingertips down on the floor or on your shins. Make sure there's no pressure though on the knees. Still again breathing there, lengthening all the way from the tailbone. Make sure you're looking down to the floor. Good, and then we're going to slowly exhale again all the way into our forward fold. Again, gently softening through the knees. So placing the hands down on the mat, we're now going to step our right foot back and then our left foot back into our plank position. Good, breathing there, and then slowly lower the knees down to the mat, keeping the pelvis forwards. Keep the elbows tucked in as you slowly lower the body down to prone position, releasing the legs and the toes. Inhale into our cobra, and exhale slowly back down. Good, twice more. Inhale into our cobra, shoulders stay nice and down. Exhale to lower. And one last time, inhale. And then taking the hips all the way back when you're ready into your child's pose. Reaching forwards and resting the forehead down to the mat. Good. And then coming back onto the hands and the knees, tucking the toes under, downward facing dog. And again, walking the heels down one by one. Really releasing through the backs of the legs, lengthening through the spine. And again, looking towards the hands, slowly walking forwards to the front of your mat. Again, no rush, trying to stack the shoulders over the wrists. Hanging there in our forward fold, belly on the thighs, nod and shake the head, no tension. And then again, we're going to slowly roll up through the spine. So exhale, stacking the vertebrae up one by one, rolling the shoulders back at the top when you're there. And then one last time. So on your next inhale, we're going to inhale all the way to our extended mountain pose, palms up to the ceiling. Exhale, bringing the hands down all the way down to our forward fold. Again, gentle soften in the knees, belly in towards the spine. And then going to inhale into our halfway lift. So again, fingertips down on the mat, or you can place them on your shins. Breathing as you're lengthening. And exhale down to your forward fold. Good, hands down on the mat, so bend the knees as much as you need to. Stepping the right foot back and the left foot back into your plank position, lowering the knees down. Keeping the elbows tucked in, slowly with control, lower down to prone position, releasing the legs. Inhale into our cobra. Exhale slowly back down. Twice more in your own time with your own breath. Good, and then on your last one, taking the hips back into your child's pose and resting there. And again, forehead down towards the mat. And just breathing here, again feeling the backs and the sides of the ribs expanding and lengthening. And then coming back up onto the hands and the knees when you're ready, tucking the toes under to downward facing dog. Good, so really lengthening here through the backs of the legs, still pedal down the heels one by one. Keep those hips up nice and high. Then you want to have a sense of pushing down with the heels and up with the hips at the same time, so you're really getting that length there through the backs of the legs, long straight spine. And again, slowly walking forwards to the front of your mat, stacking the shoulders over the wrists, holding there in a forward fold. And then we're going to slowly come up through a nice long flat back all the way into our extended mountain pose. Exhale, bringing the hands down to the heart. Into our first flow. Inhale into our extended mountain pose when you're ready. Exhale all the way down, forward fold. Good. Inhale into our long halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Good. From here we're going to step our right leg back. So take a nice big step. Good. And then slowly lower the right leg down onto the mat, releasing the right toes. So the chest is just there rested on the left thigh. So finding your core there, so just pull the belly in towards the spine. We're going to come into our crescent moon pose. So pushing through that left heel all the way up with the arms, trying to keep the shoulders down and back as much as you can, arms nice and straight. And of course breathing. And then slowly, when you're ready, lowering the hands down to the mat. Good. Noticing then how it feels to go into a small hip vinyasa. So you want to inhale as the hips come forwards, exhale gently to bring the body back, and you want to flex the left toes up towards the ceiling. So try and keep the legs straight, but of course, if you need to keep the left leg nice and bent, then please do. And you want to try and have as much contact with the chest to the thigh as much as you can. I'm just going to repeat there and flow for 5 breaths. And then holding your last one forwards. Good. We're then going to notice how it feels to then bend the right knee. So if that's comfortable for you, we're then going to reach our left arm up and over and take hold of the right toes and gently exhale to pull the toes back towards you a little bit if you can. Still breathing there. And then slowly releasing the right leg, tucking the right toes under, stepping the left leg back into your plank position, into our chaturanga and cobra or upward facing dog. So lower all the way down with control, and then coming up into your cobra or up dog. Again, keeping those shoulders down, and then taking the hips back into your child's pose, reaching forwards and resting there. And then tucking the toes under again onto the hands and the knees, pushing the hips up to downward facing dog. Again, hips up nice and high. Feel free to just still pedal down the heels one by one. Feeling that length through the backs of the legs. Long straight spine, looking towards the feet again. And then taking your gaze to your hands, slowly walking forwards to the front of your mat. Good, holding there in a forward fold. And then we're going to slowly come up through a nice long flat back to our extended mountain pose. Inhale, exhale down, hands to heart. Same on the other side. So when you're ready, we're going to inhale, extended mountain pose. Exhale all the way down, forward fold. Inhale, nice long halfway lift. And then exhale, forward fold. Good. This time we're going to now step the left foot back. So a nice big step back with the left foot. And then releasing the left knee down on the left toes. So again, chest on the right thigh now, pushing through the right heel, engaging through your core as you slowly then come up to your crescent moon pose. So in your own time, coming up, and then arms come together again at the top. Keeping those shoulders down and behind you, in line with the ears as much as you can. Just taking your gaze forwards or again up to the ceiling, just opening up through the chest. And then exhale, slowly lower the hands down. Good. And again, into our hip vinyasa this side. So inhale forwards, exhale, slowly taking the hips back, flexing those right toes up. Inhale forwards, exhale back. Again for 5 here. So you might want to keep this movement nice and small, that's absolutely fine. Try and keep the chest down on the right thigh as much as you can. And then again, holding your last one forwards. And then again, noticing how that feels to bend the left leg. So bending the left knee. If that feels comfortable for you, you can then reach the right arm up and over, taking hold of the left toes. And gently exhale to bring the toes back towards you. Still breathing there, so just really releasing through the quad. And then slowly releasing down. Tucking the left toes under, stepping the right foot now back into your plank position, all the way down into your chaturanga and upward facing dog or cobra. Keeping those shoulders down, chest lifts, breathing. And exhale slowly back into your child's pose. Well done. So again, reaching forwards, backs and sides, the ribs expanding, forehead down to the mat. Good. From there, just wander the upper body over towards the right side. So just bending around the left arm. So we just create some space there through the left side for the left side of the lungs. Coming back through center and then same over to the left, bending around the right arm. So just creating space there in the right side this time. And then again in your own time, slowly coming back to center. From there, we're going to take our palms together and then bend at our elbows and have our palms together behind our head. And you can just inch the elbows forward slightly here just to increase the stretch. Good. From there, we're going to come into a high kneeling position and we're going to work a little bit into our camel pose here. So you want your hips over your knees. We're going to place our hands there on our ribs and just notice how it feels then to inhale as you lift the ribs up and then exhale, the ribs drop. Just once more, inhale, lifting the ribs, exhale down. So now we're going to inhale, lifting the ribs, taking our gaze up towards the ceiling, keep lifting through the body. Keeping those hips forward, so make sure those hips don't come back, so the hips are over the knees. And then nice and slowly coming back to center. And we're going to repeat that one more time, so take a moment. And then when you're ready again, you might want to tuck your toes under. This will just increase a little bit more for our next variation. So then again, inhale as we reach the ribs up to the ceiling. Keep the chest lifted, lengthening through the spine, push those hips forwards. And then you might want to be able to take your hands down to your heels. So just one by one. Keep pushing those hips forwards, keep lifting through the chest. And then slowly placing the hands back on top of the ribs and slowly coming back. Good. And then resting back there in our child's pose. Nice and slowly. It'll be a quite nice big release for the back now. Good. So really let the body just completely relax now. Good, we're slowly going to now come onto our backs. So come down, swinging the legs round, down onto your back and just lie just with both legs straight and just the arms next to the body. Can you then just take hold of the left knee? So we're going to bring the left knee in towards the chest. And then again, slowly exhale just to bring the knee back towards your armpit a little bit further. And then we're going to circle the knee from there. So just gently opening up through the hip. And the same to the opposite direction. And then taking the right knee into the left hand, bringing the knee all the way over towards the other side of the body into our spinal twist, opening out our right arm to the side. And you can either look up to the ceiling or over to the right if it's comfortable for your neck. Just try and exhale as you just relax through the right arm into the twist. And then nice and slowly coming back to center and releasing the right leg down. And then taking the left knee in towards the chest. And again, exhale, pull the knee back towards your armpit a little bit closer. And then gently circling the knee there, massaging and opening through the hip. And to the opposite direction. And then left knee into the right hand, bringing your knee all the way over to the opposite side of the body, opening out the left arm to the side. And again, either looking up to the ceiling or over to the left if it's comfortable for your neck. Exhaling again, just relaxing through the left arm into the twist. Good. We're then going to finish with our happy baby pose. So you're going to take both knees in towards the chest and the soles of the feet up to the ceiling, taking the hands through the inside of the legs, taking hold around the soles of the feet. And then you want to have a sense that you're putting your thighs and knees down towards the mat next to you. And again, just breathing there. This is great for opening up through the hips. And slowly release the legs when you're ready. So just laying here in Shavasana, allow both legs to just be completely dropped and relaxed. So the toes just fall out to the sides. Ankles, knees, thighs relaxed. Open hips and pelvis. Long straight spine, open collarbones, heavy arms. No tension in the face. So there's no tension in the jaw. And the tongue just rests there in the mouth. Again, bringing your focus back to your breath. So going back to having that sense of the belly expanding again up towards the ceiling on the inhale, shrinking back on the exhale. And as you just continue here to breathe, just have a sense of some gratitude just happening inside your body. So praise yourself and your body for what you've achieved. Know and accept that you're exactly where you're supposed to be within your practice and in your life right now. But also that you won't stay there and that you'll keep growing. So slowly wiggling the toes and the fingers, rolling over onto your side into the fetal position when you're ready. Just bringing your awareness back to the moment. And slowly coming up to a seated position when you're ready. No rush at all. And just finding a moment there in our seated position, whichever is comfortable for you. Again, being sat on a block is fine. So either just focus on a point down on the floor in front of you, or you can have your eyes closed, just have the arms relaxed and the palms open on top of the knees. Again, just breathing, staying nice and present and home to your body. Just taking a couple of nice deep breaths there. slowly opening up the eyes when you're ready. As we then inhale, gathering the energy, exhale down, hands down to the heart. And again, twice more in your own time. Inhale, gathering all the energy, exhale, hands down to the heart. And then once more in your own time. Hands down to your heart, thanking yourselves for this practice today. Namaste.